Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Moonlit Pages, an official podcast of Amethyst Ink Books here in Lawton, Oklahoma. I'm your host, Lydia, and today we have another wonderful guest joining us. Author Eileen Hobbs is here to talk about her books and everything along the way as far as writing joy, everybody. Yeah, and all the stories along the way of making this happen for yourself. So, Eileen, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. It's my
How are you doing today?
Good.
Awesome. Okay. So before we dive into things, I kind of want to start off with something a little fun to kind of warm things up. So a little icebreaker. If you could spend one day inside of any fictional world, which one would you choose and why?
My goodness, there are so many to choose from. Chronicles of Narnia. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
I've read that one. I could see where that would be.
I'd love to meet Mr. Smith.
Very
And
good
Aslan
one.
the
That was a
Lion.
very good choice. Awesome. Well, that's a very, very good one. Actually, back home, there's a new bookstore where I'm from in San Angelo, Texas, and it's a massive bookstore, but there's a closet, and when you open it, it leads into the kids area, which is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
That is great. What a great idea.
Right? It totally gave Narnia vibes, I have to say. Okay. Well, so to dive right in, so tell us a little bit about yourself and how you first became interested in writing.
Well, I've been interested in writing. Even since I was a little girl. I filled up notebooks full of stories, but I didn't really start writing until my kids were young. And I watched them play outside with cousins. And that's when I came up with the idea called The Heath Cousins, The Moonstone Cave. And it's about these cousins.
Tell us about that book.
That go through the cave in a magical garden. And they meet a woman there who gives each of them a special stone. And the stone has a special power. Or Addie B, who is the only girl in the cousin, has the moonstone ring. And she can read and understand different languages. With her ring.
Wow.
I didn't plan on writing a whole series. But then the ideas just kept coming. And I really, really loved writing. So that's how I first started writing. And I have several other books that are standalone. And so I can read about those as well.
Okay. Well, starting with the Moonstone ones, you said that it sparked from your children playing outside with their cousins. Are any of them based off of your kids?
Yes, my two boys, their cousin Rebecca and their cousin Stephen, and I would watch them play together and use their imagination. They would pretend like they were kings and queens and living in the magic castle. And so that's really how I first started with the Moonstone Cave.
Well, before you wrote these ones, had you always wanted to be an author?
Always. Forever and ever. I always wanted to. I just didn't know how. And I was busy working and taking care of the kids. And so I didn't really do it full time. And now that I'm retired, I can do it full time.
So this is around the time you kind of decided that you wanted to pursue it more seriously and start really.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's what I did. Yeah.
You told us about the first book, or the first series that you've written. Okay. What would you say is something about your other series that you've written that you'd like to tell people?
Okay. So probably something that is very different from me is that I grew up in another country. I'm not a typical Okie. I grew up in Thailand where my parents were missionaries. And so each of my books are kind of a piece of me or part of my experience growing up. And so Under the Golden Rain Tree is based in Thailand. It's about a little girl named Lily, and she meets a magical white elephant. And it's about her friendship with this elephant whose name is Rambo. And they are best friends. They become best friends. And so that book, again, is part of my experience growing up. Stella and the Sea Stars. And that's about a young girl who visits her grandmother on a small island in Florida. And she doesn't want to be there. Her parents are going through a divorce. But she makes some very good friends. And they solve a very old mystery together, and they also help to fix up an old lighthouse. And I love the beach so much, and so that's why I wrote that one.
Very cute. So it kind of feels like you have a lot of yourself put into these books. I know you said you have put your experiences in them.
I would say probably the closest would be Lily, because since I grew up in Thailand, I put a lot of my just the things that happened to me there, and like playing different Thai games and speaking Thai. I put a lot of the Thai words in there.
Oh, do you still speak Thai?
Oh, yes, not as good as I used to, but I definitely speak Thai. When I go visit schools and I talk about that book, I always teach kids some Thai. They're all my favorites in some way. I can't really decide because I did write my first picture book this last year, and it's called Charlie's No Fun Day at the Beach. So it's a little bit different because it doesn't fit into my other age group. It's for younger. And it's about my dog Charlie, who I lost about a year and a half ago. I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but it's just very special to me because I also wrote another book, and it was called The Girl from Corn. So do you know Corn, Oklahoma? It's very small, but that story is based on my great-great-grandparents who immigrated to Corn, Oklahoma in 1903. And so it's really a special book to me as well, since it has to do with my own ancestors who came here. So that's a very special book to me as well.
That is completely valid. Yeah, it sounds like you put your heart, literally your heart and soul into these.
I really, really do. And I love it so much.
So, I mean, this is kind of a term I know in writers, like, so I know that you're taking your experiences and turning them into books. So would you say you're more of a plotter or a pantser?
A plotter or a panther?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So authors sometimes they plot out, like writing, for instance, like they're writing a book, they're going to plot everything out and then connect the dots to everything. Whereas a pantser, I'm much of a pantser, so like I'm taking a story and I'm just going with it, and whatever comes out is what I'm writing down. So there's no rhyme or reason. It's just.
I think I'm a panther.
Okay. Yeah.
I do a lot of rewriting and editing, but a lot of times I'll know how I want it to end, so I just have to kind of get the story. Ending.
Okay. Yeah. That's kind of like a pantser, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I kind of go from there. But I like to just dive in and start writing, but I may go back and change it if it doesn't seem to fit. But I do prefer.
And do you do all of your own editing, or do you have friends and family that help edit with you?
I do a lot of my editing, but I always have a professional editor edit my books, sometimes more than once. So I think it's very important to have a professional editor to edit all of your books, because they can certainly catch things that you can't.
Yeah.
Beta readers.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. And so
beta reads?
Yeah. Beta readers who are kids at that age that will read my books and give their opinion and feedback before I publish it.
Oh, that's smart. Yeah, getting the age group to actually look at your book and see what they feel like. I bet you have a lot of success with that.
And it's good. I have found some really good ones. Yeah, and it really helps me a lot.
Do you have any of your beta readers come back and continue reading for other projects for you?
Yes, I've had a couple of people that I've met. One is on Instagram, and another one from Facebook that I've interacted with several times, and so I've had some repeat beta readers for sure.
Oh, that's wonderful. Okay. Well, what's been the most rewarding part of your writing journey?
Oh, it's always the readers. It's the comments, the readers enjoying my book and just telling me, "Oh, I just love this book so much," and then telling me specifically why.
Oh, yeah.
That's really what keeps me going. Come to a school visit, and I had been there the year before, and in the meantime, he had bought a whole set of my book series, the Heath Cousins. But they were all worn and a little bit damp. But he had the whole set, and he wanted me to sign them, so I did. And that meant a lot to me because he was wanting to keep them and read them and keep reading them, so that meant a lot.
But that's just so rewarding to see their faces. It's going to be a story that hopefully sticks with them. What does your writing process look like? Do you knock it all out at once, or do you typically take a little bit of time?
No, I kind of do it in pieces. Like right now, I have 3 books that I'm working on. Actually, 4 because I'm doing another Charlie book. I'm doing Charlie's Very Unmerry Christmas.
Very cute.
So it really kind of depends on my mood. And maybe I might get an idea for one of the books that I'm working on. So I'll put it aside and then come back to it. So yeah. So that's kind of how I do it. I kind of work on more than one at a time.
That's impressive. That's very impressive. And I mean, if you could share anything with the listeners right now, what would you say?
I would say if you love to write, keep writing and write what you love. If you love dogs, write about dogs. If you love robots, so yeah, it doesn't matter. Just keep writing, especially the kids. Yeah, keep writing about what you love and telling stories because it's just so important to have that creativity and keep reading because reading also helps you be creative in your writing. Oh, I would just like to share with your listeners that I will be there next Saturday at your lovely store. And I'm excited about that. And please come by and meet me, and I'll bring some little prizes for all the kids that come by. Okay?
Excellent. Well, yes, I am very excited. Yes. So, again, at the Amethyst Ink Books, 1814 West Gore Boulevard, Saturday, June 27th at 1 p.m. Eileen Hobbs will be joining us. And again, we're very excited to have you there. Thank you so much for sharing your story and spending time with us today. It's been wonderful learning more about your books and your writing process.
Saturday.
Absolutely, yes. And to everyone watching and or listening, be sure to check out Eileen Hobbs' books and support independent authors whenever you can because their stories are just amazing. And if you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe to Moonlit Pages and follow Amethyst Ink Books on our social medias for future author interviews, book discussions, literary adventures, and of course all of our crazy events that we continuously put on. But until next time, keep reading, keep exploring. Remember that every story begins with a single page. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you at the bookstore.
Bye. Thank you.